Santa Claus does not forget. Bertie was a very good boy. He was kind, obedient, truthful, and unselfish. He had, however, one great fault, he always forgot. No matter how important the errand, his answer always was, "I forgot." When he was sent with a note to the dressmaker, his mother would find the note in his pocket at night. If he was sent to the store in a great hurry, to get something for tea, he would return late, without the article, but with his usual answer. His father and mother talked the matter over and decided that something must be done to make the little boy remember. Christmas was near, and Bertie was busy making out a list of things which Santa Claus was to bring him. "Santa Claus may forget some of those things," said his mother. "Christmas frolics." "He cannot," replied Bertie, "for I shall write sledge, and skates, and drum, and violin, and all the things on this paper. Then when Santa Claus goes to my stocking he will find the list. He can see it and put the things in as fast as he reads." Christmas morning came, and Bertie was up at dawn to see what was in his stocking. His mother kept away from him as long as she could, for she knew what Santa Claus had done. Finally, she heard him coming with slow steps to her room. Slowly he opened the door and came towards her. He held in his hand a list very much longer than the one he had made out. He put it in his mother's hand, while tears of disappointment fell from his eyes. "See what Santa Claus left for me, but I think he might have given me one thing besides." His mother opened the roll. It was a list of all the errands Bertie had been asked to do for 6 months. At the end of all was written, in staring capitals, "I forgot." Bertie wept for an hour. Then his mother told him they were all going to Grandpa. For the first time, he would see a Christmas tree. Perhaps something might be growing there for him. It was very strange to Bertie, but on Grandpa's tree, he found everything he had written on his list. Was he cured of his bad habit? Not all at once, but when his mother saw that he was particularly heedless she would say, "Remember, Santa Claus does not forget." The Fairy Christmas. It was Christmas Day, and Toddy and Tita were alone. Papa and Mama had gone out west to see their big boy who was ill. They had promised to be home for Christmas, but a big snow had blocked the railroad track, and the nurse was afraid the train would be delayed until the day after Christmas. What a dull Christmas for 2 little girls, all alone in the great city house, with only the servants. They felt so lonely that the nurse let them play in the big drawing room instead of in the nursery, so they arranged all the chairs in a row and pretended it was a snowed-up train. Tita was the conductor, and Toddy was the passenger. Just as they were in the midst of it, they heard music in the street, and, running to the window, they saw a little boy outside, singing and beating a tambourine. "Why," said Tita, "his feet are all bare." "DC hanged up before stockings and his shoes, too," said Toddy. "Let's open the window and ask him." But the great window was too high to reach, so they took Papa's cane and pushed it tip. The little boy smiled, but they could not hear what he said, so they told him to come in, and ran to open the big front door. He was a little frightened at first, but the carpet felt warm to his poor bare feet. He told them that his name was Guido, and that he had come from Italy, which is a much warmer country than ours, and that he was very poor, so poor that he had no shoes, and had to go singing from house to house for a few pennies to get some dinner. And he was so hungry. "Poor little boy," said Tita. "Our mama is away, and we're having a pretty sad Christmas, but we'll try to make it nice for you." So they played and Guido sang to them. Then the folding doors rolled back, and there was the dining room and the table all set, and Thomas, the black waiter, smiling, just as if it had been a big dinner party instead of 2 very little girls. The nurse said, "Well, I never," when she saw Guido, but she felt so sorry for the lonely little girls that she let him come to the table. And such a dinner as he ate! He had never had one like it before. "It is a fairy tale," he said, Just as dessert came on, the door opened and in rushed Mama and Papa. The train had gotten in, after all. They were so glad to see their darlings happy. Instead of moping, that they gave each some extra kisses. You may be sure little Guido never went hungry and barefoot after that. Long afterwards he would say, "That was a fairy Christmas." That night, after Tita had said her prayers, she said, "Mama, I know something. Whenever you feel sad and lonely, if you will just find somebody sadder and lonelier than yourself and cheer them up, it will make you all right." And I think that that was the very best kind of Christmas lesson about love. Don't you?